disability lawyer David Brannen, founder and managing lawyer here at Resolute Legal. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about applying for long-term disability benefits under the NSAHO long-term disability plan. So if you like this video, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and leave your comments down below if you want clarifications. So if you were covered for benefits under the Nova Scotia Association of Health Care Organizations long-term disability plan, and you want to apply for benefits, I'm going to take you through just a brief overview of what that looks like. So first, you must be off work 150 days before you're eligible to be paid benefits under the NSAHO LTD plan. That's important to know. However, you're not going to wait 150 days to get your application in. In fact, you should get your application in fairly soon after going on long-term disability, or going on short-term disability. So you will, after you go off work immediately, there's some short-term disability that's available to you. You should take that. But after the short-term disability, that will lead up to the 150 days. That is when you're going to transition over to long-term disability. So for your long-term disability application, you should start working on this, 2 to 4 weeks before the 150 days are going to be up. That is where you should be putting this thing together if you know that this disability is going to extend on. If you're not sure, then maybe there's not as much urgency there, but if you're pretty sure this disability is going to extend beyond the 150 days, start working on it sooner rather than later. There are deadlines to apply, and it seems obvious that people would apply before the 150 days are up, but that doesn't happen all the time. For various reasons, some people think they're not going to need to be off work, they keep trying. You should know that they give you 7 months is their kind of deadline to apply. Up till that point, there'll be no penalties or problems as long as you get your application in with 7 months. It can be backdated and you'll get back pay that you're owed. If you go past 7 months, there is a grace period between 7 months and 19 months where at their discretion, they may agree to approve your claim, but there might be some penalties to you for filing it late. You might not get the full back pay. After 19 months, they take the position that you are barred from submitting a claim. Now that's not exactly true. There are legal ways that you can get around that. So if you're past 19 months, you haven't submitted your application, then you should talk to a lawyer because there are legal grounds to still get your application in, even though they're going to tell you it's barred. Now, you do the application just like you would for any other long-term disability plan. You have to fill out the official application form, and it's important that you use their form. You can get this form directly from your employer. You can download it from our website. You can download it from the NSAHO's website. So you fill out that application form, and then you give it back to the administrator of the plan. And again, the address of the administrator is right on the application form. In addition to filling out that application form, you are going to need to get your doctor to fill out what's called the attending physician's report. That is just a medical report form, the official form that they use. You're going to have to get your doctor to fill that out, and you are going to send that in. Lastly, your employer has to fill out an employer's report. This is not something you fill out, your employer fills it out. So that's it. You get those 3 forms in, your form, the doctor's form, the employer's form. That forms your basic application. Now you're usually going to want to put more information in than that, other medical records and the like, but that's where you start. Once you get this into the plan administrator, they will then send it over to their adjudicators. That's the people that will basically review and make a recommendation on whether to approve or deny your claim. Right now, the adjudication for this plan is done by Manulife Financial, but that could change in the future. They're just contracted right now to do it. It could change at any time. So it's an insurance company. The way this plan works is they contract out the actual adjudication of the claims so to keep it independent, and because insurance companies are much more skilled at being able to adjudicate these types of claims, they hire them to do it, and then the insurance company makes a recommendation back, which is pretty much always accepted, and that's the basis that they will approve or reject your claim. So if you like this video, hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe and leave your comments, and we'll see you back here next time.